You're listening to the Get Peeled podcast, a space for life enthusiasts to get inspired, learn through others about fitness, business, relationships, and life itself. I'm your host, Hannah Eden, a fitness entrepreneur that has an obsession with sweating and a burning desire to share and inspire others with the lessons I've learned through fitness. Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Get Peeled podcast. I'm Hannah Eden.
And I'm Paulo Barreto. Today we're bringing this episode straight from Yosemite, right here in Central California.
That's right. So we are sat on top of Paulo's truck right now, just to set the scene and let you know where we are. We just wrapped up a workout for the Hef Training app for a pretty cool outdoor workout that we decided to do.
Gnarly fucking workout.
I'm
still dirty. That's dirt.
Me too, and I've got draw and kettlebell and coffee dirt all over me. Quick breakdown on the workout. It was a 30-minute AMRAP, as many rounds as possible.
Partner, I go, you go.
That's right. One person rested while the other person went, and it was 4 double kettlebell snatches, 6 double kettlebell cleans with a single arm press, 8 double kettlebell squats plus 8
leg lifts, 6 animal push-ups, beast of push-ups, and 4 front kick throughs.
That's right, 4 front kick throughs.
Gnarly.
Really brutal. Each round took around 2 minutes, and we both, watched each other suffer and die and coached while we could. We had Team Spicy, which was myself, and Team SPK for Sour Patch Kids for Paulo. And we decided to finish up and commit to our evening by wrapping up our series of 6-week podcasts that we have been doing. And today we're going to be focusing on commitment. Now, this wraps up this mini-series within our Get Peeled series of Hef on the Road. Mm-hmm. And it all has to relate with a really exciting thing that's about to come out and release, which is the
Fearless program.
That's right. That is right. And the whole idea behind Fearless is, yes, it is a 6-week program. But if anyone has done any of my training programs before, then you guys know that we like to not only talk about the physical, but also talk about the mental and the emotional
from day one
lessons and tips and techniques so we can become better on every aspect of wellness, right?
And most of the ebooks, I think, most of the ebooks that we released, all the ebooks, they have homework. They have mindful practices. That's pretty amazing to see how Hannah usually puts it all together. And she has these homeworks and these, like, wake up in the morning, 3 bullet points of self-affirmation. Anyways, really, really interesting stuff that it goes a long way. Although it's very small efforts, it goes a long way. I know because I started applying a few of those to my life. And the Fearless program is going to be the same.
Yeah, and I think just to feed into what you're saying is to help people understand why I do that is because I wish I had someone that could do that for me at the beginning of fitness, because for the longest time I could feel how great this was for me, but I wasn't invested enough, which means to me that I wasn't invested on an emotional level as much as I was on a physical outlet. But if I had been able to tie the emotional and the mental and the mindfulness towards the physical exercise and the physical outlet, then I think it would have become fearlessly mine a lot quicker. And this new life and this new self-discovery would have happened a lot sooner, which I don't regret anything that happened. I think everything was a stepping stone to get to where I'm trying to get to, and it doesn't mean I've gotten there at all by any means. But applying mental and mindful practices to what we're doing physically can sometimes demonstrate and create so much awareness of what's going on that is so much greater than what you're aware of when it's this close to your face, So Ignite was a really good one for that, of having mindful practices to do.
Embrace.
And then all of them really are. Unleashed. But this one is different, right? So we've shot a podcast and we had 6 episodes talking about 6 phases that I think happened throughout my journey and that I am now trying to share, that we're both trying to share through trying to help others, right? And trying to share all the lessons that we are not masters of, that we are learning and trying to share those with you. So
we're students of.
Exactly. To try and say that we're teaching you would say that we are masters of our craft, and we are by far that. Keeping it real as much as I need to and staying humble enough to know that I've got a long fucking way to go. But let's go back to the beginning, right? Just to reiterate, yes, the podcasts that we have shot and filmed, and if you haven't heard them in order, then I suggest going back so this can get deeper for you and come tie in, and we can relate to each other. And when we say all these crazy things within the workout program, maybe they'll be able to get through to you a little differently. So let's touch base on what those 6 themes or phases are within, or the Fearless program itself, but also what we've been talking about over the last 6 episodes on Get Peeled, right? So there's the struggle stage where I think we all go through shit in life that could hold us down.
And we both share a personal shit in life that, got us where we are.
And the synopsis of that, right, is like that shit that happened to us could have gone 2 ways, right? But we have managed to overcome it, which we talk about. But that was the initial stage. We shared our vulnerabilities. Then after that was the awareness, to be aware enough to understand that there's a problem at hand, right? Then there was the reason to try and commit to making, find your reason to make a change.
And why we do what we do. Yep,
right, exactly.
100%.
And we got really deep and personal on that. I don't think I've ever shared a lot of those reasons, and everyone always asks me, but I think that they're your own shit, There's
100%.
multiple reasons that we all have to stay in this fitness space or this health and wellness industry or lifestyle. And then there's the overcome, right? Which is one of the hardest places to be, because I think we touched on it, but what happened to us in our past and our memory of the past are 2 different things. And I think that certain things within the struggle phase happen that leave scar or trauma that really cause a lot of people to find it almost impossible to overcome it because of the truth that they hold in their brain that may not be the real truth of the past. It's just the memory of the past they have.
And on top of that, because they let that define who they are today.
Exactly.
Which is hard.
And then there's the enlightenment stage that I talked about when it was just myself. And I think that was a really important place to be, and a really confusing place to be. And I hope that podcast left you guys feeling good, because it was a matter of me saying, I can't explain it, you got to feel it, which is probably really annoying to hear. But that's the exact point, right? Is that I'm not going to be able to try and paint it for you or to try and describe it to you, nor am I even going to try, because it's not something that I have the right to do. If you want it bad enough, then you'll stick with it and you'll find that enlightenment, but it doesn't come easy.
And especially because it's one of those things that is going to be 100% different from me to you, from you to him, from you to her, and that's completely different. And it's impossible for us to pinpoint how that's gonna play out and how that's gonna come out in someone's life.
Absolutely.
They're gonna be the only ones to spot it.
And how do they know? Well, you need to look inwards and you need to start to discover a little bit more about yourself and what makes you feel good, what makes you feel that enlightenment stage. And that I know that fitness is going to have a huge piece to do with that. But what is it that you want to achieve or get through fitness that is going to make you feel enlightenment? And that's when it comes to rewind to the Find Your Reason episode. What is it that people want? I wanted to get inside of their brain. I know what I want, so I can write all over the wall what I want. I want to X, Y, and Z. My own reasons, but I want to know other people's psyche. What's getting other people ticking, right? And a lot of the mindful programs, that is also in this one, which is lean into yourself. What makes you go? What makes you feel good? What gets you going on a personal level? Is it that you want to inspire yourself? Do you want to feel strong? Does fitness make you feel happy? Does it make you feel seen? Does it make you feel validated? Does it make you feel important and hot and sexy? Like, what is it that you're looking for? Or do you want to be healthy enough that you can walk up and down the stairs? Like, everyone's reasons are different. Maybe fitness is something that you need instead of something else that is not good for you. It's an alternative vice. Who knows what it may be? But point being, you're not going to find that enlightenment stage until you understand who you are and what it is that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Once you've found it, it's like, holy shit, which is what I talked about last week.
This is why I've been doing this.
Oh my gosh. And I compared it, Paulo, just to let you know, to that runner's high, right? Like, I can understand that. And for me to be able to have this message and preach this message from where I am now is probably really annoying for people that are so nowhere near where they want to be. And they're probably like, that's easy for you to say. You don't understand where I'm coming from. I hear the shit all the time. But listen to me when I try and tell you that, yes, I do. Because I will do my absolute darndest to remind myself constantly what that feeling was like then, so that I am never out of touch with it now. And that's why I always push myself to do things that I find merely impossible, so that I never lose touch of that feeling, or feeling like I have the right to preach to someone else that they should do something that is so unattainable for them right now, because I know it's going to be better for you at the end. Who am I to say that to you unless I'm willing to put the work in, right? And I think that comes to the enlightenment stage, but then also to commitment. And that's where we are today.
That's the final stage, right?
Yeah.
How to achieve ultimate commitment to yourself in the long run, so you can turn not only the fitness game, because fitness is an endless game and it's going to always be happening. If you don't pay it, you're going to lose it. So how to stay committed for the long run?
And honestly, I personally think, zoom out, stay on a high level for this, right? But like, the commitment stage is the hardest stage. But it's a stage that you know what you're working for. Up until enlightenment, you don't get it. You're like, what the fuck is this? I don't want to do this forever. I can't do this forever. This is not sustainable. Once you get to that enlightenment stage, you're like, aha, wow, okay. It's not so much effort anymore. This is really who I'm becoming. Like, this isn't a facade that I'm having to put on. And this isn't such a fight and a chore to get to this place where I feel happy, or proud of being, right? But this is actually where exactly I need to be. And once you get there, it's like, oh, this feels really, really good. And then you get there, it's like, okay, now I know why I'm here. But until you've gotten there, you really don't know what you're working for. But once you're in the enlightenment stage, it feels good. But there's a honeymoon stage that's attached to that.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, it's worth saying also, just a parenthesis, it's still going to be, there's still going to be ups and downs, period.
Right.
Yes, honeymoon stage, and maybe once you get past and you find it, you know you're committed, you're still going to go up and down. Don't think that anyone, not me, not Hannah, not anyone that you know or follow, lives this life that's this linear balance, and it only goes up, and it's amazing. Doesn't work like that.
And I don't think there could have been any better timing than this stage in my life personally, for sure, and maybe for you too, than for us to be talking about every stage. Because for the first time in 6 years, now I'm back, but for like 3-4 weeks, man, I lost my mojo. I was like falling into this dark, slippery slope. I'm like, what the fuck? Where am I going? Now I'm back, and now I know why I'm back. And all I did was exercise those practices that happened before, that worked before, and guess what? I'm back. But where I was trying to get to with the enlightenment stage, all those 5 stages prior to that, you get to enlightenment, or the 4, sorry. You don't know what you're working for. Then you get to enlightenment. Now you know why you're here. I get it now. This is exactly what I was looking for, and this is a feeling that I want to hold on to forever. But in the commitment stage, after the honeymoon stage from the initial enlightenment is over, then it gets to where I've been for the years, right? I understand this feeling. I understand this incredible space and this person that I have become, and this is ultimately who I want to be. But in order to stay here, it comes at a price, and it comes at work, which means you don't get to, like Paulo was saying, to that commitment stage, and then once you reach it, the game's over. Because guess what happens? In 1 month, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, you're going to be back at that struggle stage. And as many stages you can stay above the struggle, the further and further that is going to be from your reality for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
But it takes work to not drop back down into these stages.
Tedious fucking work, and it's tough, because it's the kind of work that comes with no apparent reward. The reward is not waiting for you at the end of the workout. It's not waiting for you when you get home, sweaty. It's this compound effect. It's little bricks that you keep stacking, and holy shit, next time you see, it's a whole full wall that you built. And that's hard, that, to me, at least.
And I just had another epiphany of like cycles of life, right? Maybe what I just said isn't correct. I'm going to contradict myself now. I don't think that the longer you stay away from stage 1, right, because there's the good 1 through 6, I don't think that you'll never get back there. I think that you're always going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's life, right? But the struggle...
In many, many ways, right? Outside of fitness, just life. Yeah.
Just life. Life is always going to be like this, right? When it's high, it's high. When it's low, it's low. Guess what? That means it's always coming back around. I had this conversation with you earlier. It's temporary. Everything's temporary. And it's important to remind ourselves that, because during the shittiest times in our life, remember that this is not going to be forever unless you allow it to be. But during the highest times in our life, it's also important to remember that this is also temporary. So get off your high horse and understand that this is not sustainable, and life is not covered in unicorns and rainbows every day, and it will not be. And as soon as you understand that and accept that, life is a lot easier to live with, right? So celebrate the highs, push through the lows, and know that that's going to happen all the time.
Yep.
But what I was saying is the more and more cycles that we give ourselves the opportunity, and the more work that we put in, because in order to see level 1 through 6 takes work. But the more cycles you put in, the lesser the struggle will actually be on the grand scheme of things.
The more resilient you become. You basically create these mental calluses, right? And you know that it's okay. I've been here before. I know what I got to do. So put on your gloves and let's go to work.
And this sounds heavy and deep, but full disclosure, I think that fitness is my tool to be able to buckle down and buckle up, Babaloo, because it's happening again.
I got to keep my wits about me, man. There's fucking bears here.
I know there is. But we're talking.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping that that's enough to keep them away. We're in the middle of Yosemite. Shit's get crazy. But I mean, I forgot what I was saying.
No, fitness is your way to fight through it.
Oh, fitness is what I need and is my tool to help me handle life. Because I've now learnt enough to understand that the blows are not going to stop coming. But I'm not strong without fitness. I'm not strong enough without fitness to be able to handle what life throws my way. Fitness gives me the strength that I need externally and internally, the mental discipline, the mental fortitude, the mental resilience to be able to be the best I can be when life fucking sucks or when life just gets a little tough. And that is the truth.
I know. And when it gets tough, so people would try and resort to all kinds of medicines or escapes.
Yeah.
Fitness is one of them. You can also open up a bottle of Jack, sit down, and play Chris Stapleton and just chug it.
That sounds like a good fucking idea a lot of the time, but...
No, but understand what I'm trying to say. You can't close in and just, fuck, man, life is... No. Some people, they have many options. We choose to turn on the camera or not, pick up some heavy fucking weights, and just
get to work.
Struggle and get through it.
I'm going to just change the lighting real quick, but I want to talk about that point entirely. Sorry. Okay, we're back. So the reason why I want to talk about that is because... Wait, what were we talking about?
About locking ourselves in a dark room with kettlebells and making it happen.
So we were just briefly chatting. We don't want it. We try not to do it so that it comes out as a really authentic conversation, whether we agree or not, on camera. But we were talking about commitment, right? And different forms and types of commitment, and like, what does commitment mean? And I think in order to understand commitment from the level or the side or point of view that I'm trying to talk about it today, you have to be able to get through to that enlightenment stage to really understand what commitment felt like. And let me explain that. If you guys listen to the multiple episodes that we've released, I've explained that I was able to stay on track. I got into really good shape and then I'd fall off. I stayed really committed. I finished my challenge and then I'd fall off. And this happened for a while until I could stay in it and like really stay in it without letting myself dip down into these like drop-offs or get full off the wagon, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because thought in my brain I was committed, right? Because I finished the challenge. I committed myself to that challenge. All right, that's true. I did commit myself to that challenge. And I did that over and over and over again. But that commitment wasn't to myself. The commitment was to the challenge, or the commitment was to the social group of people that I was doing this challenge with, or the commitment was to be able to post on Facebook that I did day 1 and day 30. It was a very different form of commitment that didn't feel so much deep, like as deeply as this commitment does, than something else.
Right, but nonetheless, still a commitment to yourself.
Absolutely.
Because anyone that's able to stay on track for 30 days, whatever the fuck you're doing, if you commit to eat one donut every single day and you do it for 30 days, kudos to you. It's not easy to do that.
Right, and that gives you like a little tease or a little taste of what enlightenment can be like. Like, this can be great, right? Because that feeling, which everyone knows, the feeling at day 30 is fucking amazing. And I'm talking entirely, like mentally, physically. I feel confident, I feel good, I feel accomplished, I feel proud, I feel successful, I feel strong, I feel like everything. That's great. But why do we not stay there? That's where I'm trying to get into. It's like, yes, we committed to ourselves to that challenge, but get deeper. Let's dig deeper, because all those things are amazing. But you know what? It is hard to stay there, but it's a lot harder to not be there anymore. Yeah. But why? And this, I'm not saying I have the answer here.
It's really tough. I'm trying to equate what are you saying to whenever we do a strength program, for instance. You do a strength program, you finish the whole program. Chances are, if you did it right, if everything was, planned right, you're going to level up. You're going to hit new PRs, new personal bests. And how? Why not stay there? Because I've done it.
What do you mean? And then you let yourself go?
Not that you let yourself go. It's because I think that operating at such high level for so long burns out, burns people out. And I know for a fact that when I did once or twice or 3 times strength programs back in the day, I would let myself go for about a week and a half, 2. And when I come back, I'm like, oh man, I lost everything.
But can I pick apart what you're saying?
Yeah.
So that's 100% valid, but you're already in that, you've already gotten through that enlightenment stage to be able to commit to a strength program on top of being fit. That's a very different stage, right? To then being so unhappy with where you are in your life right now and just trying to get to a place where you're feeling better. Not the strength program, which is what I'm going to lead into the next point, right? Enlightenment's one thing. Commitment is that strength program. Commitment is why I do these random challenges. And I say all the time, these transformation programs, these challenges, these ebooks that I release, these are the things that keep me alive. These are the things that keep me committed. Because if I don't challenge myself a little bit more than I want to and push outside my comfort zone, not continuously, because you're right, performing and doing an ebook every day of the week indefinitely is not the right thing to do, which is why I suggest not to do that. These ebooks are sprinkled out throughout the year. These transformative programs are sprinkled out throughout the year so that you can push past your limit for just that period of time to show yourself, no, you're not just there. You've got more in there, Keep pushing, sister. Right. Keep pushing, brother. Like, you've got this. So those challenges, that strength program that you're talking about, are ways in which we can stay committed.
100%. And I know that many of you guys on the Have Tribe, you bounce from one ebook to the other, to the other.
Or that's the Have training, so that's what we wanted.
Right. Which is incredible, by the way. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That means that you're dialed. That means that once you finish something that came and kicked your ass, you want a little more. And you want a little more. Yeah.
But we always suggest that, right? Like, so I always say, these ebooks are either designed to be stacked on top of your existing training program, or they are to be done instead of for a temporary period of time. And usually when I talk about the regular training program, that would mean the Hef training app. So if you guys don't know that, we have the Hef training app, which gives you daily workouts, which we call like our school curriculum. And then the ebooks that we plop out once in a while, those are your school holidays and you get to play. So every day of the week when we've got our 30, 60, 90, our Tabata, our Wednesday, our Workout Wednesday, our Wacky Wednesdays, and our Bucket Fridays, our Open Format Fridays, our 45s and Mashup Saturday, we call that the school curriculum. When we have an open format or a Wacky Wednesday or a ebook, that's what we say is like, let's put our school days to the test and see what we're made of by pushing ourselves further than what we usually do and then coming back to something when we don't need to. So adding a little strength program, pushing yourself past your limits, all of these things are continuously important, I think, to always bring into yourself. Continuously challenge yourself. Continuously push yourself to learn want a little bit more. Learn a new skill. Get uncomfortable. Do shit to keep your drive alive and to keep you committed to this new, sharper, better, more fucking demanding for life self that you've discovered.
Fuck yes. Tough, man. It's tough. I know that in the beginning of my fitness journey, I did my first strength program, and I remember the feeling that I had when I finished it. It's addicting. And I 100% understand whenever we drop these challenges and people finish it, it's fucking addicting. Because 1, there's a community behind. 2, you're not alone. There's people going through the same shit
and
as
it's
you.
temporary.
And it's temporary.
It's going to be It's going to end.
Yeah, you know that it's a race, and you know that there is a finish line. And when you get there, you won't be there alone. There's going to be a bunch of people saying, "Oh my God, I fucking did it! Can you believe it?" And it's amazing to see how the tribe came together through all these stages, through showing commitment to themselves into the tribe.
Yeah.
Because many times going on the Facebook group and seeing all the comments, it's like, I'm in a rut, shit's happening and hitting the fan.
I mean,
what
I
do
did
I
it.
do?
I did it like a couple of weeks ago.
And then immediately comes,
Here's what you should do.
Hit Evolve number 5. That shit kicked my ass yesterday. And it's amazing to see. So
on your note, though, when you said that you got to the end of the strength program, you gave up, can I just feed into that? Because I think that could be, I know the situation of that, and that could be misunderstood. You didn't stop doing fitness.
No.
Right, so that's the part
I became obsessed with it.
No, but meaning you were working out, like your school curriculum, then you added this challenging temporary program of a strength program, but just because what you said when I got to the end, why did I stop? You didn't stop fitness, you just stopped that strength program.
Yeah, it's not the stopping.
It's the additional.
It's the end of a journey, let's put it like that, right? So started with fitness, did my first strength program, saw my numbers skyrocket, and this is the best part. The first is always the best one. Because the first is when you really put yourself into, and all of a sudden you become Superman. And it's tough, because the next time that you do another program, the increase in strength, in this case that we were saying, it's a lot more marginal. The first one, it's when you fucking jump, and then you become obsessed with it. Because in your head is like, oh my God, I had a plan, I put in the work, and I got this. Holy shit, what's next? And then you do another one. And then you try something in your personal life. And then you try something in your friendship. And that's, again, what fitness did for us, right?
And I think that's important to say and tune into that point there. Like, think about an elite athlete where they have to commit, or a professional athlete, or any athlete that performs on a high level. That's a lifestyle, man. And the rewards are minimal. The work is maximal. And you get nothing back in return a lot of the times. Unless, in fact, there's more struggle and more feeling of failure than there is of success. Because all you're trying to succeed is to win, right? Which is really fucking hard to do. And as Paulo was saying, let's use a fitness journey. At the beginning, if someone's overweight, it's easier to lose weight at the beginning, right? Which means it's easier to stay in it at the beginning. But really, the challenge is to stay in it consistently. But it's at that consistent stage and that duration of time is when you start to see less and less results, which is less rewarding. So it's like, why am I doing this? So it almost like totally goes in the opposite direction. But understand that's why being a professional athlete and being able to stay consistent takes a lot more than aesthetic changes, takes a lot more than a number on the scale, takes a lot more than a number on the barbell. And it needs to get deeper and get more mindful into why you're showing up during the toughest times, pushing past all that new struggle to understand that this reason is far greater than going back to where I was. So just know that the longer you stay in it, the less reward. But now it's not about that. Now it's not about the prizes. Now it's not about the number on the scale. Now it's not about how much I can lift. I'm here for a far greater reason than that. And that will transform over time. And what that reason is unique to yourself.
100% to yourself. And like you said, there's a reason for that. It's harder to get in, but once you get in, you see the most results. And as you progress in your journey, like you said, you see less and less results because it becomes a lot harder for you to actually transform from what you already are. And there's a reason for that. Because for you to continue, it has to go beyond the fitness, and he has to start tapping into mental fortitude. And that's why when you see someone who's completely dialed, it's a sick fuck. You know what I mean? It means that person, their reasons, it's far beyond the weight in the scale, how they're fitting their pants. It's some shit that's ingrained in their brains, and you can't get that away from them. But it's good. One thing that I can add to this, I'm not sure if you still want to add anything, but remember, guys, this is not a straight line, and throughout this timeline, there's all these phases that we're talking about. It's a circle, and it's going to continue happening. And we all go through ups and downs. That is one thing that I can promise you. I guess it's the only thing that we do know is it's going to happen. It's going to continue happening. And you got to be able to push through. Like Hannah said, push through the lows.
And know why you're there. And to your point, sorry, just to add to that, to just relate personal experience to that, right? now that I'm in a far better place, like mentally, and there's not so much trauma going on in my life that there was back in the days when I was training for Iceland, which was, talk about reasons, that was a really heavy and really sad, painful reason as to what was my motivator behind my training sessions. But I remember being that sick, savage fuck and being so dialed in because I wasn't there for the joy of it. I was there for some pretty fucking fucked up reasons that I just couldn't put into life. So I just put it into miles on the road or on the bike, whatever. And I remember training, and we had a duplex at that point, and I had tried to have the duplex be my office. That didn't work. So I put a treadmill in there because the treadmill would make so much noise that it was not right to train at home. So I was training in there late at night, and I remember there was no internet. So I couldn't stream my workout, my music. I couldn't watch anything. I couldn't do anything other than, and the lights weren't working. So the room was almost pitch black. There was no music on. It was terrible, hot as fuck in Florida in like January, February, March time. So like rainy, humid, gross. And there was a safety pin that was stuck into the wall. And I just stared at that and probably stayed in there for like 3 to 5 hours of training, and it didn't even faze me, didn't get distracted because my brain was somewhere so far away. You ask me to do that now? Get out of here. I'm going to be like, oh, fuck this. I'm going to go outside and look at the rainbows and the squirrels and this and that. But I didn't need the music. I didn't need all these things that now I think I need in order to perform. It's because I'm in a good place. I don't really need those. I just need reasons that are deeper than the surface level to really dial in and be that dialed in, focused, and like I'm so present in that moment. And that is my outlet. And I think that over quarantine, as to another reason why maybe that it happened that I started to fizzle out is because, yes, I love working out. Fitness is obviously my ultimate passion, but I was not filling my own cup or finding my own reasons. I kept showing up for others. So I feel like in the recent months, I've dialed back to show up for me now because I need this, not because I need to provide content for other people, but let's not forget that I need to show up so that I can stay in a good place to be able to provide the best content for the rest of the world, you know?
Yeah, and I think that that's one of the ultimate shows of commitment, is to stay committed to yourself on the long run and understand that the small efforts that you do, they do impact people around you, and people are watching what you do. It doesn't matter who you are. It could be a coworker, it could be someone in your household, it could be your little nephew, it could be someone on the half tribe. What do you do to inspire others? And like you said, commit to yourself. Most importantly, understand that committing to yourself, you're gonna be somehow making a commitment to other people. Because the stronger you are, the better you are for yourself, you are better for them. You know what I mean?
That's right. For sure, for sure.
There you go.
You want to add anything else?
I think that's it. I think that you nailed it. We're trying to become better for ourselves so we can be better for you guys. And that's the ultimate commitment that we have.
So let's tease these guys a little bit about Fearless, what we got going on, when it's coming out, and what they're going to know about it. Absolutely.
So the description of this video, wherever this goes, we're going to put a link to it. Fearless. It's going to begin August
2nd.
That's right. How many weeks?
It's going to be 6 weeks, aligning those themes that we told you. Let's see if we got it. You ready? Struggle, awareness, reason, overcome, enlightenment, and commitment.
Boom.
Now, each week of the program, there's going to be...
Mindful practice.
There's going to be 4 scheduled full total body workouts, plus 1 bonus workout of your choice. And the reason behind this is because, whatever you want to call them, they say, hey, I want to add a little bit of extra cardio. What do you think I should do? Or, hey, I want to add a little bit more strength. What do you think I should do? So we have designed the first 4 workouts within the week. And then depending on who you are, where you're at, and what you're trying to achieve with this program, that 5th workout is up to you. You can either add more conditioning, where we give you a full workout that's focused on conditioning, or you can add a full workout that's focused on strength, or you can add a full workout that is actually a decompression, active recovery, mobility session. So there's going to be a total of 5 workouts a week, 4 programmed by us, 1 chosen by you. That will be for 6 weeks. Each week, like we were saying, each of those themes: struggle, awareness, overcome, etc., all have mindful practices, and each week we're going to be focusing on those. We're going to be doing weekly Q&As with lives to try and get on the group to make sure that you guys know what's going on. You will also have not only a follow-along version of this program. If you guys have ever done FYR, we had Hannah, myself, and Paulo. This time we have myself, Paulo, and either Connor or Jillian that are two really active members within our community in Fort Lauderdale and really good friends through Pump Fit Club, and they are the background talent, and we're showing you beginner, intermediate, and advanced. The equipment. All times. Say that again.
Beginner, intermediate, and advanced at all times. So whenever you look at the screen, there's going to be 3 mats, mat in the front, 2 mats in the back, and wherever, it doesn't matter where you are in the fitness journey, you got to follow someone. And the really cool thing about this program is that you can keep going back to it, trying to level up. So if you go for the first time and you follow the beginner mats, you have the chance to redo the entire program and follow the intermediate mat, and finally do it again and try and get to the advanced mat.
And to touch on that, so many people try and come in and go straight to advanced. That's not sustainable. It's going to feel really shitty and discouraging when you're unable. So we're trying to build you up with that foundation to know that we can all work out together. You can be in the same room as an advanced elite athlete, and you can be a beginner. We're still here doing the same thing at the same time to our own abilities to get where we want to go. To be able to do this program, you can pretty much do it anywhere, which is why I wanted to do this. And we wanted to make it so obvious that you can do it anywhere that we can do it on the road with you whenever we release. And obviously we don't have a full gym, so you only need a pair of dumbbells and 1 set of mini bands.
That's it. 1 pair of dumbbells, not a bunch of pairs, just 1. I do the entire program with a 20, I think.
Yeah, I do the whole program with 15s.
And boy... Well, you see, because I'm sure they'll join us.
And to touch on that, it's a really cool progressive program. So every second day of the week, we have a progressive tower, which means that we're going to find strength in volume, not in load. All right? So that means we want to show you just how much pain and how many results you can get with 1 pair of moderate dumbbells. You do not need the excuse of that you need this whole gym set up to get a crazy kick-ass workout.
So guys, that is it. Do you want to add anything?
I don't think so. If you have any questions, hit your girl up.
Exactly. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. This is the wrap up of the 6-phase week that we had. And I can't wait to see you guys again.
See you out there.